This is Catholic Challenge on the Living Bread Radio Network. 16 teams will test their knowledge of the Catholic faith. Join us on this journey as we navigate our way from BC to AD and everything in between. Today's defenders of the faith will take up their shield and sword to compete for prize money and a chance to move on to the next round of competition. Are you ready for the challenge? Now, here's your host, Michael Roberts.
Hello and welcome to Catholic Challenge here on the Living Bread Radio Network. I'm your host, Michael Roberts. Today we have a great game. Two teams that will compete, testing their knowledge of the Catholic faith. Each team is playing for their favorite Catholic charity, and whoever wins today will earn $200 for that charity and the opportunity to advance to the next round. Today, we welcome Bob Chase and James Snyder. They are playing for the Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity. And we also welcome PJ Chavez and Miguel Chavez. They are here playing for Catholic Charities. So welcome, teams, and thanks for joining us. Before we begin our game, though, let's find out how to play. Here's the rules.
In round one, each team will answer 5 questions. Correct answers are worth 10 points each. Questions are either true, false, or multiple choice. The contestants may confer, but the team captain must answer the question. There is no penalty for incorrect answers. If all 5 questions are answered correctly, the team will be given a chance to answer a bonus question worth 25 points.
All right, thank you for that. Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity, you will go first. Bob Chase, you are the team captain. Let's play Catholic Challenge. Question number 1, true or false? The Catholic Church is known as the Bride of Christ.
True.
You got it. Question number 2. Who built the Great Temple in Jerusalem, also known as the First Temple? He was a son of David. Solomon, Cyrus, or Ezra?
Solomon.
That's it. Question number 3. What was the greatest event in the Old Testament? It prefigures the Mass. The 10 Commandments, the Passover, or the Day of Atonement?
Passover.
That's it. Question number 4. New members of the Catholic faith are traditionally welcomed into the faith at a special liturgical event that happens when? Holy Thursday, Pentecost, or Holy Saturday?
Holy Saturday.
The Easter Vigil, you got it. Here's question number 5. This American saint was raised by the Mohawk Indians after her family died during a smallpox epidemic. She was disfigured by the disease. She converted to the Catholic faith because of the preaching of the Jesuits and was willing to suffer for the sake of Jesus. She was canonized in 2012. Mother Frances Cabrini, Kateri Tekakwitha, or Catherine Drexel?
Kateri Tekakwitha.
Feast day is July 14th. You got it. Well, that means you got all 5 of those correct. We move on now to that bonus question, and here it is. The great penitential Psalm 51, which begins, "Have mercy on me, O God," was written by which king asking God for forgiveness? King Solomon, King David, or King Saul?
David.
You got it, and that is a round 1 sweep for you, Most Holy Trinity. So congratulations on that. Your score is now 175, and yes, for those of you listening on the radio, Bob looked over at the other team and asked them for the answer, but of course the Chavez brothers did not give them that answer. All right, we turn now to round 1 for you. We'll call you Catholic Charities. PJ Chavez, you are the team captain. Round 1 begins for you right now.
Fantastic.
Here's question number 1. This great Carmelite saint was a major figure in the Counter-Reformation. He was a contemporary of St. Teresa of Avila. He is known for his classic writing titled Dark Night of the Soul. St. John of the Cross, St. Joseph of Cupertino, or St. James the Lesser?
We're going to go with St. John of the Cross.
You got it. That is right. Here's question number 2. True or false? The so-called 10 lost tribes of Israel were from southern Israel. True or false? Need an answer from you.
No, false. We're going to go with false.
And you would be correct. They were, of course, from northern Israel, so it was false. Here's question number 3. What is the last book of the Old Testament? Amos, Psalms, or Malachi?
We're going to go with Psalms.
I'm sorry, that is not right. It is Malachi. Here's question number 4. Who had John the Baptist beheaded? Pilate, Herod, or Caiaphas?
We're going to go with Herod.
King Herod it was. And finally, here's question number 5. The tradition is to say this prayer at 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. It is a prayer that commemorates the Incarnation. Hail Mary, the Angelus, or the Our Father?
We're going to go with the Angelus.
Indeed it is, and of course church bells ring traditionally at that time. All right, Catholic Charities at the end of round 1, your score is 40, and again, the Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity, your score is 75. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will meet our contestants. You're listening to Catholic Challenge here on the Living Bread Radio Network.
Prize money for Catholic Challenge is provided in part by Ziegler Tire, serving the listening area for 97 years and counting, with name brand tires and auto service that you can trust. Find out more at ZieglerTire.com.
Since 1960, the aim of Walsh University has been to develop students' mind, body, and spirit. That belief has called them to help support Catholic Challenge. Walsh University, a proud sponsor of Catholic Challenge. Find out more at walsh.edu.
And welcome back to Catholic Challenge here on the Living Bread Radio Network. I'm your host, Michael Roberts. Today, our competitors are Bob Chase and James Snyder. They are playing for the Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity. We also have PJ Chavez and Miguel Chavez. They are playing for Catholic Charities. And so let's take a moment now and meet our contestants. Bob Chase, I'll start with you, playing for Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity. Welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself, if you would, please.
Hi, I'm Bob Chase. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I presently live in Sagamore Hills. My parish is St. Barnabas Parish. We're playing for the Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity, and that's at Our Lady of Lourdes Shrine at 21281 Chardon Road in Euclid, Ohio. As members of the Trinitarian tradition, the Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity are dedicated to giving glory to the Most Holy Trinity through a unique apostolic ministry of elementary education and ministering to the pilgrims who visit the shrine. This beautiful shrine is one of the 2 locations in the diocese with the Holy Doors in this Jubilee Year of Mercy, where one may secure a plenary indulgence.
Fantastic. And so tell us a little bit about your partner here, James, who's with you today.
James, I've known his family for well over 20 years, and I have been his confirmation sponsor.
Fantastic. All right. Well, it's great to have you both with us here again. Welcome. We turn over to the other side of the room, PJ and Miguel Chavez. Now, luckily, they have name tags in front of them because they are identical twins, and so I don't know if I could tell the difference between them. PJ, you're the team captain. You're playing for Catholic Charities. Tell us a little bit about the Chavez brothers.
Yeah, we're thrilled to be here. We both work at Walsh University. I've known Miguel. We go way back
Obviously,
now.
Right, yeah.
And, we're very honored to represent Catholic Charities. They do a lot of great events and also do a lot of good around the Stark County community. So we're very thrilled to be here and hopefully bringing in some money for them. So,
yeah, absolutely. That's always a great thing. What are some of your favorite topics about the faith? What are you guys really, I don't know, specialize is the right word, but what are the things that you're interested in the most when it comes to our faith?
Yeah, I love liturgy, and liturgical music is probably my forte. I really enjoy that, but I love liturgy and everything around the Mass. I'm a big fan.
Well said. Yeah, well said.
I enjoy Scripture.
All right. Well, excellent. Again, PJ, Miguel, it's great to have you both with us here. And we now move on to round 2. But before we do that, though, let's get the rules.
In round 2, each team will answer 5 questions. Correct answers are worth 15 points each. Questions are either true, false, or multiple choice. The contestants may confer, but the team captain must answer the question. There's no penalty for incorrect answers. If all 5 questions are answered correctly, the team will be given a chance to answer a bonus question worth 25 points.
All right, thank you for that. Bob Chase, you are the team captain. Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity, you will start, and round 2 begins right now. Here's question number 1. This saint is known as the Dumb Ox. He was a member of the Dominican order. The church calls him the Angelic Doctor. He was an outstanding theologian and philosopher. St. John of the Cross, St. Thomas Aquinas, or St. Augustine?
St. Thomas Aquinas.
Absolutely, St. Thomas Aquinas. Question number 2. The word Bethlehem means what? Baby Savior, house of bread, or home of the Messiah?
House of bread.
You got it. Question number 3. How many psalms are in the book of the Old Testament? 150, 98, or 195?
150.
You got it. Here's question number 4. The Gospels of Matthew, Mark, and Luke are similar Gospels. They are called syncretic, synoptic, or equivalent.
Synoptic.
They are the synoptic Gospels. You got it. Here's question number 5. Who was given authority to decide which books belong in the Bible? The Catholic Church, Martin Luther, or the Protestant Reformation?
Catholic Church.
Holy Mother Church, you've got that. And that sound means you got all 5 of those correct. We move on now to that bonus question worth 25 points. And here it is. True or false, Baruch is a book of the Bible in the Old Testament?
True.
Absolutely, it is true, and that is a round 2 sweep for you. And of course, we hear a reading from the book of Baruch during the Easter Vigil. That's one of the times where we hear that book. All right, so at the end of round 2, Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity, you have 175 points. We turn now to Catholic Charities, coming in behind with 40 points. PJ Chavez, team captain, round 2 starts right now.
Fantastic.
Question number 1. On what is now Palm Sunday, Jesus set out with his disciples from this village for his triumphant entry into Jerusalem. It is the birthplace of Martha, Mary, and Lazarus. Caesarea, Bethany, or Jordan? Need an answer from you?
Bethany.
Ah, that's right. Bethany it is. Question number 2. The prophet Daniel interpreted the dreams of which king? Nebuchadnezzar, Saul, or Solomon?
Nebuchadnezzar.
Indeed it is. Here's question number 3. The word evangelist is best described by which of these? A person who prays with others, announces the good news, or writes about God?
Announces the good news.
You got it. Yes. Here's question number 4. This young Jewish girl was raised by her uncle Mordecai. She was chosen by the king of Persia to be his queen. She saved the Jewish people from destruction by the wicked Haman. A book of the Bible is named for her. Judith, Esther, or Vashti?
We're going to go with Esther.
Esther is right. Here's question number 5. Moses led the people out of slavery. Did Moses enter the promised land? Yes or no?
No.
You got it. Moses did not. And that sound means you got all 5 of those right. So we move on now to that bonus question, again, worth 25 points. And here it is. The children of Israel were led in the wilderness by what? A pillar of fire and cloud, the high priests, or the Levites?
Pillar of fire and cloud.
You got it, and that is a round 2 sweep for you, Catholic Charities. So your score is now 140. Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity, you have 175. Obviously, we are in the midst of a great game here. We're almost ready to move into round 3, but before we do, I'd like to take a moment and thank our generous sponsors. These sponsors have provided all the prize money for our program today. We want to give special thanks to Ziegler Tire, St. Raphael Bookstore, Walsh University, and the Knights of Columbus. These great organizations continue to partner with the Living Bread Radio Network to help all of us learn more about the Catholic faith. So thank you very much to our sponsors. All right, now on to round 3. Here's the rules.
In round 3, each team will answer 5 questions. Correct answers are worth 20 points each. Questions are either true, false, or multiple choice. The contestants may confer, but the team captain must answer the question. There is no penalty for incorrect answers. If all 5 questions are answered correctly, The team will be given a chance to answer a bonus question worth 25 points.
All right, once again, Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity, your score is 175. Catholic Charities, you have 140. Bob Chase, will begin with you. Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity, round 3 starts right now. Question number 1. The first Saturday devotion is associated with which of these? Fatima, Lourdes, or Guadalupe?
Fatima.
That's it. Question number 2, true or false? Pope Benedict XVI's older brother is also a priest.
True.
Father George Ratzinger is his name, absolutely. Question number 3, which apostle is known as the apostle to the Gentiles? St. John, St. Thomas, or St. Paul?
St. Paul.
St. Paul it is. Here's question number 4. The Pope sits in what is called the chair of St. Peter. The chair of St. Peter corresponds to the chair of which Old Testament figure? The chair of Moses, the chair of David, or the chair of Alexander? Need an answer?
Moses.
It is the chair of Moses, and of course, Jesus refers to this in the Gospel of Matthew. Here's question number 5. A prayer during the Mass that concludes with "to the Father, through the Son, in the Holy Spirit" is called which of these? A doxology, a novena, or a litany?
Doxology.
It is the doxology. Well, that sound means you got all 5 of those right. We move on now to that bonus question worth 25 points, and here it is. The Via Dolorosa is the name of the path that Jesus walked on his way to the crucifixion. The literal meaning of the Latin is which of these? Way of Sorrows, the 14 Steps, or the Heavy Way?
The Way of Sorrow.
You got it, and that is a round 3 sweep for you, Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity. Your score is now 300. We move over now to Catholic Charities. Your score is 140, and round 3 begins for you right now.
All right.
This saint is a doctor of the Church. She worked to bring the papacy of Gregory XI back to Rome from its displacement in Avignon, France, and to establish peace among the Italian city-states. She is a patron of Italy. St. Catherine of Siena, St. Clare of Assisi, or St. Teresa of Avila?
Can we hear that repeated?
Absolutely. This saint is a doctor of the Church. She worked to bring the papacy of Gregory XI back to Rome from its displacement in Avignon, France, and to establish peace among the Italian city-states. She is a patron of Italy. St. Catherine of Siena, St. Clare of Assisi, or St. Teresa of Avila? Need an answer from you?
We're going to get Teresa of Avila.
No, I'm sorry. It is St. Catherine of Siena. Of course, Siena is in Italy. Okay. Question number 2. In the Gospel of John, who said the following? "To whom shall we go? You have the words of everlasting life." Peter, James, or John?
Peter.
The rock, Peter it was. Here's question number 3. All over the world, Catholic bishops are part of a lineage that goes back to the apostles. We call this what? Synchronized, sola scriptura, or apostolic succession?
Apostolic succession.
You've got it. That's it. Here's question number 4. Fill in the blank. St. Gianna Molla was the first woman blank to be canonized. Was she a lawyer, engineer, or physician?
Physician.
That's it. She was a doctor. Question number 5. How many choirs of angels are there? 12, 7, or 9?
9.
9 it is. And there you go at the end of round 3. Catholic Charities, you have 220 points. Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity, you have 300. Still anyone's game here. And at the end of round 3, we move on now to our next break. But before we do, here's a question for you, our listening audience. At the Transfiguration, who did Jesus take up the mountain with him? We'll give you the answer after the break. Go nowhere. You're listening to Catholic Challenge here on the Living Bread Radio Network.
Catholic Challenge is made possible through the support of the Knights of Columbus. Founded in 1882, the Knights of Columbus protects Catholics and defends the faith. Today, there are over 15,000 councils. Learn more at kfc.org.
St. Raphael Bookstore is a proud financial sponsor of Catholic Challenge, the one-stop shop for defenders of the faith. Their resources are geared toward lifelong and new members of the faith. Online at catholicbook.net.
And welcome back to Catholic Challenge here on the Living Bread Radio Network. Before the break, we left you with a question. At the Transfiguration, who did Jesus take up the mountain with him? The answer, of course, is Peter, James, and John. Well, we've got a great game going here. Our score, Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity, you have 300 points. Catholic Charities, you have 220 points. It's still anyone's game. It's also time now for the challenge round. It's a little different, so here's the rules.
This final round combines knowledge and speed. The first team to ring in may answer the question. If the contestants ring in before the host is finished asking the question, the host will not finish reading the question. If the answer is incorrect, no points are lost, but the other team will have the opportunity to hear the question in its entirety. Correct answers are worth 30 points each. There are 15 questions in the challenge round, and in case of a tie at the end of this round, we will have a tiebreaker question. The team with the most points at the end of this round will be awarded $200 for their organization and will move on to the next round of competition. And the losing team will be awarded $50 for their organization.
All right, contestants, hands on your buzzers. The challenge round starts right now. Question 1. What is the name of the tall candle used at the Easter Vigil, Catholic Charities?
That is the Paschal candle, Easter candle.
Absolutely. It is used at the Easter Vigil for the light of Christ. It also is used during funeral masses. Question number 2. St. Francis of Assisi and Padre Pio were among the saints who... Catholic Charities.
Stigmata. They had the stigmata.
Absolutely. They bore the wounds of Christ on their hands and feet. These wounds bled, and the name is, of course, the stigmata. Question number 3. This cross or crucifix is worn on a long chain to rest on the chest of a bishop. Most Holy Trinity.
Pectoral cross.
Absolutely. It's worn on the chest of an abbot, symbolizing their office, an abbot or a bishop. It's a pectoral cross. Question number 4. She was an evil queen in the Old Testament, married to King Ahab. She was the nemesis, Most Holy Trinity.
Jezebel.
Absolutely. She was the nemesis of Elijah the prophet. The dogs licked up her blood after her death, as Elijah prophesied. Question number 5. The Old Testament book of the Bible, Song of Songs, is also known by what name? Catholic Charities. Need an answer.
Song of Solomon.
Song of Solomon or the Canticle of Canticles. Correct. And our score, Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity, you have 360 points. Catholic Charity, you are behind with 310. Still very close game, though. Question number 6. The task of interpreting the deposit of the faith is given to the living teaching office of the Church. Catholic Charities.
Magisterium.
That is the Pope and the bishops in communion with him, the magisterium, correct. Question number 7. In which book of the Bible do we find St. Michael overthrowing the devil and casting Catholic Charities? Need an answer.
Genesis.
No. Okay. Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity, I will come over. I will read the question to you, and you will have a chance to answer. In which book of the Bible do we find St. Michael overthrowing the devil and casting him out of heaven?
Revelation.
Absolutely. Revelation 12. That's my patron saint. Come on. All right. Here's question number 8. The Church confesses that Jesus Christ was true God and true man. Hebrews 4 says he was like us in all things but... Catholic Charities.
Sin.
Absolutely, it is sin. Here's question number 9. This saint is known for using the shamrock to explain Catholic Charities.
Saint Patrick.
St. Patrick, he used the shamrock to explain the Trinity. He is an Irish saint, and his feast day is March 17th. Question number 10. This feast day is celebrated during the octave of Christmas. It commemorates the massacre of the children. Most Holy Trinity.
Feast of the Holy Innocents.
Absolutely. It commemorates the massacre of the children by King Herod in his attempt to kill the baby Jesus. Our score, Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity, you're at 420. Catholic Charities, you have 400. Here we go. Question number 11. El Camino de Santiago is the pilgrimage Catholic Charities.
Pilgrimage runs across Spain.
Okay. Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity, I'll reread the question and give you an opportunity to answer. El Camino de Santiago is the pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela in northwestern Spain, where tradition says the remains of one of the 12 apostles lie. Which apostle?
St. James.
You got it, St. James. Here's question number 12. This saint was given the miraculous medal in a vision of the Blessed Virgin. Most Holy Trinity.
St. Catherine Labouré.
You got it. She was, of course, a member of the Daughters of Charity. Question number 13. At which feast during the life of Jesus did the wine run out?
That
Catholic
was
Charities.
The wedding feast of Cana.
Absolutely, you got it. Here's question number 14. The Dominican Fathers have the initials OP after Most Holy Trinity.
Order of Preachers.
Absolutely. OP stands for Order of Preachers. Question number 15. What are the 3 days in preparation of the Easter Vigil? Most Holy Trinity.
Triduum.
The Sacred Triduum, you got it. And that is it. What a game. Most Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity, congratulations. You have 540 points. You now have moved on to the next round and have won $200 for your charity. Also, thank you to Catholic Charities. You have 430 points. PJ and Miguel Chavez, a donation of $50 will be given to Catholic Charities on your behalf. Truly an exciting game. Special thanks as well to our sponsors, Ziegler Tire, St. Raphael Bookstore, Walsh University, and the Knights of Columbus, whose generous support provides our prize money. Go to livingbreadradio.com to follow the Catholic Challenge scores and brackets. You can also listen to an audio archive of this program. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and Twitter as well. Once again, the final score, Sisters of the Most Holy Trinity, 540, Catholic Charities, 430. I'm Michael Roberts, and until next time, do your part and defend the faith. We'll see you next week for another edition of Catholic Challenge here on the Living Bread Radio Network.
This has been another edition of Catholic Challenge, a production of the Living Bread Radio Network in Canton, Ohio. If you'd like to be a part of the program, email quiz@livingbreadradio.com. For an audio archive of this show, or to view the current brackets, go to livingbreadradio.com and join us next time for another edition of Catholic Challenge.